girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty consultant and today we are recreating the look here. So I uploaded a reels of me doing this look, and y'all, I love this look so much that I was like, I think I want to recreate it. And then I mentioned it in my reels and a lot of you all said, yes, recreate the look. We want to see what you're using and hear about the product. So that's what we're doing in this video today. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And if you are new, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad because we'd love to have you. And guys, let's get right into this video. Okay, starting off, I put on the Yummy Glow Serum by Danessa Myricks. So this serum I love for so many reasons. If you know me, you've heard me talk about this plenty of times, but if you've never tried this serum, it's going to be a serum that has so many great ingredients in it. It balances out your skin's pH, really does hydrate the skin, and it really is great for all skin types. So whether you have dry skin, oily skin, combo skin, because the aim of this product is to balance out your skin's pH, moisturize the skin, do all the things to it, it's not going to be a serum that's just specifically for one type of skin or a couple of types of skin. So as you can see, it leaves a really beautiful glow. The shade that I use is Main Squeeze, which is the lighter shade, but I do have both. Juice Boost is the deeper shade, and they just add like very slight subtle differences on the skin. So either shade will work for any complexion that you have. So I recommend both of them. After that, I wanted to do my brows. So I have been loving Ashunta Sharif's Beauty brow gel. It is amazing and has completely changed the brow game for me. So I just bought like a huge pack of spoolies. I'm a makeup artist as well, so I like to use these when I'm doing other people's makeup, but I also like to use them for my brow gel because as you can see, it's just a traditional gel, and it does come with a spoolie, but I don't like to clean them. I'd rather just use it once and throw it away. So that's why I use these disposable ones. So I'd like to brush my brows up with the gel. I'll just go back in with a little bit of the gel. And I like to do this early on in my makeup application process so my brows have time to set in the place and shape that I want them to be in. This brow gel does hold your brows in place, but it doesn't make them crunchy. It also doesn't make it hard to put product in them later on. And it's amazing. You should definitely check it out. And as a matter of fact, you should check out all these products that I'm talking about. I have every link down in the D box below. I always appreciate when you do decide to shop through my links because it really does help to support my channel. So if you are interested in any of these products, check them down below. And then also, if I do have a discount code for the brand, I'll have that linked next to the link in the D box. Okay, after that, I wanted to go in with the Balm Powder in the Universal shade. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because, like I mentioned in my reels and my shorts, and thank you all for commenting saying yes, you wanted this video, because I was like, I want to create it, but I hope they want to see it. I wanted this look to be as flawless, as bulletproof, and as mattified as it could be without being too mattified and drying. So I was very intentional with the products that I used and how I applied them. So because I don't want my face to look flat, matte, and dry or feel dry, that's why I chose to go in first with the Yummy Glow Serum. Now I'm going in with this oil controlling product, Balm Powder, and I'm strategically applying it in the areas that I want to remain as mattified and blurred as possible. So for me, I do have more normal skin. So although I'm not gonna produce a ton of oils, I will produce oils around my nose if it's hot, or if I do start to sweat. And I also have pores in this area of my face, along my forehead, also right here along both sides of my cheeks, under my nose here, and then across my chin. So I take the Balm Powder and just place it in these areas, and I'm not using it a lot. I'm literally like swirling my finger in it a couple of times max, and then applying it like so. And as you are going throughout this video, as I'm doing the eye look, if you want, pay attention to the area that I did apply the Balm Powder, and you'll notice that it will start to mattify just slightly, but I'm not gonna look dry and like I need hydration, which is like the best thing about this product. So while this is all meshing and settling in, I'm gonna go and do my eyes. So I only used 4 Color Fix products. Danessa Myricks products are like my go-to, so you'll be seeing a lot of them. Let me just go ahead and get that out the way while we're here. Not every product I'm using is by her, but the majority of them will probably be by her. So the first shade I'm gonna go in with is this matte shade called Exposed. With the Color Fix products, you don't need a lot, and it's really with any of her products, you need the tiniest amount. So there is a product that I'm starting with, and hopefully you can see it. It is not a lot. And then I'm gonna go in with the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A504 brush to start applying this on the eye. So I'll dip my brush on the palette to kind of disperse the product, and then I start applying it right here, like right above the crease of the eye. And with Color Fix, the best way to apply Color Fix is to tap the product where you want it to be and chill. Like, just let it sit for a little hot minute. We ain't gonna let it sit for too long. We're gonna let it sit for a hot minute. The reason why you do it is because the more tack Color Fix has, the better it will blend and also stay in place. The formula is bulletproof, so once it sets, it ain't going nowhere. And you also don't have the longest amount of time to work with it, so put it where you want it to be, let it sit for a little bit, and you can already start to see that this side has started to dry down. So when I'm ready to blend, I'm using today the Goss 26S brush. And just in case you have a lot of brushes at home and you don't want to buy any more brushes, the Angie Hot and Flashy brush with BK Beauty, this is a short blender brush, very precise blender brush. So if you have something like this at home, use that. I do have I think it's a 20% off discount code for BK Beauty brushes. It's either 10 or 20%. I will leave that down below if you are interested in purchasing their brushes. Goss 26S brush. And now that this has started to set, I'm gonna go in, place my fingers toward the end of the handle and start to blend, starting at the top of the Color Fix. I like to blend in circular motions and start to bring this toward the inner portion of the contour of the eye, and literally like feathering it here, right here along my nose. So starting to blend that out, and then I'll go on the underside and start to blend that into the crease. If you ever wait too long to blend Color Fix and you're like, oh shoot, this is not blending because I waited too long, go in with the balm powder if you have it, add a little bit to your brush, and it will blend the edges for you. So doing the same thing over here. And anytime I'm doing my eyes, I will always start to feather the shadow out toward the temple area. Because I haven't applied foundation, I know I'll cover it up as well, but it kind of gives me like a nice transition for an illusion of a wing without having to apply one. All right, now we're going to apply the Black Matte Color Fix. This is in the shade Blackout. Just like with Latte, going in with the smallest amount of products. And if you are like, Chels, you know, is Color Fix worth it? Yes, it is. It's so worth it. So going in with a flat shader brush, this is the Esem W23 brush. It's just your traditional flat shader brush. Sorry, my brushes are dirty. I'm trying to use the exact same brushes I used in the demo so I could be consistent. So I'm gonna take this shade and start applying it toward the base of my lash or my eyelid, and then open up my eye and bring it not directly into the crease, but toward the crease. And I will explain why I'm not bringing it all the way up there in a moment. So just getting it all around the majority of the lid and then letting it sit. Going to the other eye and doing the same. I'm using tapping motion so I can make sure that I have opacity. Sometimes with Color Fix, especially if the shade is like really dark, it can, I don't want to say get patchy, but if you start to blend too soon, you might notice some patchiness. So I like to apply Color Fix in a tapping motion That way I'm getting full on pigmentation and it will be where I want it to be before I blend. I'm gonna go back in with my BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy, the A504 brush, the same brush that I used to apply Color Fix in the shade Latte. And I'm gonna start to blend out the edges of the black shadow. I'm going in slightly, and I'm having my hand toward the end of the handle so I can have less pressure on the brush. And just blending like so. As you can see, we're starting to blend out the edge of this black shadow. Doing the same thing like I did with Latte, bringing it in toward the inner corner in circular motions. And then when I get to the edge of the eye, starting to fan it out like so. Notice that I'm not blending directly on the majority of the lid because I do not want to blend that black away. I like the intensity of the black in the center of the lid. So I'm keeping the blend just on the edge. If you do see some sparkle and shimmer, that's because this is the same brush that I used for the cream shades of Color Fix. So that's why y'all see some sparkle and shimmer. It's not from the blackout shade, it's just because I'm using the brushes that I used before. And it's okay, because we're gonna put sparkle and shimmer over the eyes, so it's good. So now we're gonna take the stars of the show, these two Color Fix cream formulas in the shade Muse and Iconic. And here's a swatch of Muse by itself. I was like, it's gold, but I want it to be a little more like of a neutral gold, if that's possible. Iconic, I felt had too much of like a silver undertone, so I said, we could just mix some. And maybe, just maybe, I'll get what I want. So here is Iconic. Look at both of them. Oh, stunning, okay? Stunning. So I'm just gonna mix Muse and Iconic together on my palette. And like I mentioned before with Color Fix, once it dries, it is locked in place. So I would suggest Color Fix for individuals who have oily eyelids and you notice that, you know, it's so hard for shadows to stay on your eyes because your eyelids are gonna always, the oils from your eyelids will always break down the product. Try Color Fix. And you could either try Color Fix by itself or Color Fix as a base to any other eyeshadow that you wanna use. So now, after I have mixed these two together, I am just tapping it onto the eye, like so, and keeping these shades, I would say like along the first, 3/4 of the eyelid. So taking that same BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A504 brush and just blending out the edges. Once again, I don't want too much of a harsh line. And at this point, I'm just gonna go in and like touch up any areas that I feel like need more product. So I want a little bit more of this black. So adding it right along here and just kind of blending out the edge like so. Okay, so for now, eyes are done. So I'm going to move on to the face. So YSL All Hours Foundation shade DM1. When I say I can't get enough of her, I really can't. I like legitimately cannot get enough of her. And y'all have heard me sing this foundation's praises a lot at this point. And I will continue because this is such a great foundation. Now the shade is not my best shade, I'm fully aware of that, but we do make it work. And the shade range is the biggest downfall of this foundation. So I don't know if I would be able to find a better shade match. So I'm just gonna stick with this one. This is the Luminous Matte Formula. It is so pore blurring on its own. So adding the Danessa Myricks Balm Powder, oh, my skin looks so perfected, so airbrushed. It looks, I mean, the complexion looks stunning. And especially as the night went on, I kept looking at my face and I was like, yo, come on, base. I always hit up my ears because I don't want anybody to see when a foundation is too deep for me. And then of course, getting all under here and then bringing the product down my neck so that we do not have any lines of demarcation. I'm a presser. I love to press in a product. So, because I feel like we get the best blend that way. I feel like we get the best amount of coverage that way. And the product stays in place and where you want it to be. So then I went in with Givenchy's Prisme Libre Concealer because, ooh, honey child. This concealer is by far amazing. So this is shade N312. And I'm applying it right here. Making that blown out area of the eye a little bit more structured with the concealer. This concealer goes a very long way. As you can see, I have not dipped the wand back into the container yet, and I'm still applying. And I still have a lot left product to apply. So I love that about this concealer, that a lot of product comes out on the wand, but it's still not too much. Like I can still control how much I want to apply without it being too much. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. As y'all just saw, I was able to apply concealer all over my face without dipping back into the container. And that usually is unheard of with most concealers at hand. Okay, so I always let my concealer sit. I feel like the longer it sits on your face, a little bit of tack that it can form, and then you get the best amount of coverage and pigmentation from the product, even if the formula is more thin or if the formula does have a lighter coverage. The longer it sits, the better your coverage will be. So I will typically let my concealer sit for just like a couple of minutes. Sometimes I will go off and like do other things and come back and blend it out. Now, if this were one of those like fast drying concealers, I wouldn't let it sit that long, but this concealer is very creamy, very emollient as well. I should say creamy, not emollient, because it's not gonna blend away to nothing, but it's extremely creamy and hydrating. So I have let this concealer sit on my face, no lie, for like 10 or 15 minutes. I went and washed some brushes and still was able to blend it out effortlessly. So y'all will see, because I will show it up here so y'all can see it for yourself. But the blend of this concealer is where it's at for me. So I'm gonna start at the chin because I like to wait until, I like to blend this area toward the last of the blending so I can have the most amount of coverage. And as you can see, I have already good coverage from the foundation. The foundation is a full coverage foundation. My freckles are definitely concealed a lot. This concealer is probably gonna hide the rest of them. And if you're asking, I am not trying to cover up my freckles because I do really love my freckles. They are a unique part of me, but they can get covered if I'm wearing full coverage products. So that is that. And I'm using the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A506 brush, my absolute favorite concealer brush. So I tap, tap, tap. I'm a tapper, like I told y'all. I look up and I start to blend it. And I look up so I can try to make sure I get the concealer in my fine lines so I can reduce creasing as much as possible. Like I said, tapping the product in and not swiping. I don't recommend swiping, honestly, for any application of makeup at all, unless the product actually is made to be swiped. So I'm going back in with my foundation brush, tapping out the edges of the concealer essentially everywhere, so we're not seeing any harsh lines there. And then going in with the Evolution Powder in shade 01 by Danessa Myricks. You already knew this one's coming. And making sure that I do not have any creases. I always look up when I'm applying my under eye concealer. And so I'll try to not look down so that the creases remain stretched out. And then I tap the powder under the eye. This is the Goss, the Airbrush brush that I'm using. And then once I get it right up under there, I will, you know, like comfortably like look around, move my head around. I have this powder in shade 01, which is what I'm using, and shade 02. And I can use both. Shade 02 is a little deeper than shade 01, but shade 01, and actually all of her shades are translucent powders, so they don't have so much of a base, so I can use it all over the face. Especially after I set it with setting spray. It doesn't look, you know, too light or anything like that. So now I'm going in with Natasha Denona's Black Eye Kohl. This is called her Macro Tech Eye Crayon, shade black. These are amazing. I have them in black and brown. So for the lower lash line, I'm gonna keep it simple. And I'm going to apply this eyeliner across my lower lash line, my tight line, and also on the very, right on the underside of my eye. So I'm gonna line my lower lash line first. Tight line. And then take the same pencil and apply it very close to the lower lash line. I love these eye crayons because they are nice and creamy and they blend very well, but once they set, they are in place. So I'm gonna go in with this small blender brush. This is the Precise Blend brush from Chantecaille. The hairs are nice and flexible, but it comes to a nice little tip, so I can precisely blend the product where I want it to go. So I place the eyeliner like toward the center of the eye, and then I'm gonna start at the edge of this eyeliner and start to blend it. So I start at the edge so I don't, once again, remove the coverage that I have. And then also, as I get toward the inner portion of the eye, I don't want the smoke of the black to be as intense. Like, I want you to see it, but I don't want the eyes to be shut so tight. And because we already have such of a darker contrast of color on the top lid, and my eyes are not big at all, I don't want to close my eyes off too much. So keeping the inner portion of the eye with a very light blend and concentrating the majority of that darker shade toward the outer edge of the eye. And then I'll check to see, you know, if the blend of the under eye is even. I have more of that blend coming down on this eye than this eye. So instead of adding more product, I just blend further down. And I will only add product if I actually need to. But most of the time, especially if you're working with an eyeliner that has some good blend and stretch to it, you won't have to add any more product. You can just bring it down like so. There we go. It's coming together. So let's go ahead and finish off the eye. So I'm gonna go in with my brow product. I love the Valentino Beauty 3-in-1 brow pencil. And my favorite part of this pencil is this little felt side right here. So most of the time on a day-to-day, I literally just like go in with this. I'll go in with my brow gel, go in with this product, and I'm done. But today, and for the look that I did the other day, I did go in with the actual brow pencil. So the shade that I have is Granite. I love for my brows to have a cooler undertone, so the shade Granite is great for that. They only have 3 shades, which I don't like. I would like for them to make more shades, but I was glad that Granite worked for me. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because I just don't like brows at all, so I don't even want to watch me do my own brows, but I'll take you really quickly through what I do. So I'm gonna add a little bit of product under my brows like so. And then I'm going to line the top of my brows to give them just a little bit more of a shape. And then I'll go in with the felt tip and I'll start to fill in the brows like so. And this felt tip fills in your brows so precisely, but you don't get so much product. I don't like for my brows to look harsh, so I love this disbursement of product. It's not a lot, but it's definitely there. Like, you can start to see that I am able to start filling in my brows. But this felt tip pen makes the brow strokes look more natural. And there are other brands that make eyebrow pencils like this, but this is the only one that I've actually tried. And then taking my spoolie and then blending out the product. Done. Now let's go into some lashes. So BK Beauty and Risa Does Makeup collaborated together and came out with 4 pairs of lashes. So the style that I'm going to use today is going to be called Stiletto. I love all their lashes. Oh, these, I mean, their lashes are so good. Very lightweight. They're not heavy on the eyes. The band of the lashes are so thin, so it makes it a lot easier to apply, and it makes them a lot more comfortable to wear all day. So I have worn their lashes like nonstop for the past month, and absolutely recommend these lashes. And they're also reusable, so you can use them. I don't remember how many times you can reuse them, but you can use them multiple times. Like, I would say you probably could get about 20 wears out of them if you keep them clean and, you know, store them back in the packaging. So going in with Danessa Myricks lash glue. This is very long lasting. I also love the Kiss like 5-second lash glue. That's still a favorite of mine too, because the lashes stay all day long and all night long. Now applying them onto the eyes. So I got this tip from Allure Beauty that when you go to apply your lashes, take your mirror and hold it parallel to the surface of the ground, so that when you look down, you're able to all the way look down, see your lash line, and keep your eyes open. And when I read that tip and tried it, I was like, game changer. Because when I say to struggle putting on lashes, I was like, I'm gonna be the only beauty influencer who doesn't wear lashes because I can't put them on. So thank you to whoever wrote that article from Allure. I mean, it game changer. So that is my recommendation to you. If you struggle putting on your lashes, whatever mirror that you're gonna use, I'm telling you, hold it parallel. Like, I have a mirror, you know, like this. I flip it like this so I can just look straight down. Oh, makes it so much better. And the tweezers that I'm using came with a lash kit. So whatever tweezers you have, I would say use those. Tweezers work better for me to just plop them on there, and then I'll use my fingers to adjust them in place. But for some reason, it is too hard for me to initially put the lashes on with my fingers, but I can adjust them with my fingers. It don't make no sense, but that's how it works for me. Okay, while lash glue is drying, and I do not put mascara on before I put my lashes on. I know you're not supposed to put mascara on your false lashes, but for me, my lash hairs are a little longer, and I feel like I can't see putting my false lashes on when my lashes already have mascara. So I like to put it on afterwards, and then I just clean my lashes, my false lashes, and I'm done. So that's drying. Going in with the Balm Contour by Danessa Myricks. I told y'all it's gonna be a lot of Danessa. I mean, these are my tried and true products. So Balm Contour, this is shade medium 3, and this is the BK Beauty 109 brush. Oh, this brush right here, honey, it's amazing. So I wanted to, you know, we're doing full glam, and I don't contour too much, but when I want to go like full glam, I do want to contour. So I like to go in with this because I love this contour shade. And it also is slightly warm, so it does bronze the skin and contour the skin. So that's what we're doing here. And as you can see, I am applying this Balm Contour on already powdered skin. We're not lifting up the product. We're not doing any of that. This is such a versatile and amazing product. And as you can see, it is very pigmented as well, so you don't need a lot. But if you do use too much, you can blend it in, as you're seeing me do here. So a very easy and effective product to work with. So when I chisel out the jawline, I like to go up like behind my ear, right here, because we want to have a pronounced jaw, or I should say a chiseled jaw. After I do that, I'm gonna go in with my foundation brush. I always keep my foundation brush nearby to further blend everything, because sometimes, you know, the initial blend just doesn't cut it. Then I'm gonna go in with my BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A503 brush, and this is what I'm gonna use to contour my nose. So I do not like a harsh contour at all. So holding the brush at the very tip of its handle and then feathering the product down my nose. And then I'll also take it up into the contours of my eye just to kind of mesh everything together. And also sometimes when I'm doing my eyes, I'll have like a little gap of skin where like I didn't apply eyeshadow, the concealer didn't hit, the foundation didn't hit. So this also helps to cover up that area and just blend it into the makeup. And then I'll go in with my foundation brush and blend it so no harsh edges. Bone Powder Flush, Danessa Myricks, shade Rose and Blush. I'm gonna take the same BK Beauty 109 brush, tap the product in. This product, you don't need a lot of it either. So as you can see, taking that one tap and applying it on both of my cheeks and blending out the product. I think in my tutorial, I used I used this one. I used the BK Beauty 111 brush to apply the blush onto the cheeks. So you can use, you know, whatever brush you like to use to apply your blush, you can use that for this step. Just add a little bit more here so you can see it. I love this shade. It's a really beautiful neutral pink shade. And because my eye look is a little more cool toned, I felt this worked beautifully. After this, going in with the highlighter, so Danessa Myricks in Light Powder. This is a product that I have not talked a lot about on my channel, but it is beautiful nonetheless. So this is the shade Serenity, and I'll do a swatch of it. This is a fine powder, glow powder. So this is what it looks like on the back of my hand. And you can barely see the shade, but you see the glow. So these powders are great for your body. They're great if you wanted to literally like dust the shade all over your face, almost like you're using like a glow setting powder or something like that. And of course you don't need a lot. So I'm gonna take what's in my actual cap, the BK Beauty 111 brush, and just tapping it here so I can mix the product on the brush. And then I literally just swiped the product across the cheek. So smile and swipe. Doing this method of application because I don't want any harsh lines of the highlight. I just want it to look like the whole cheek is just illuminated. So when I turn from side to side, you don't see like a strip of light, you just see it across the cheek. Oh, it is so beautiful. And then taking whatever's left over on the brush and then just applying it down the bridge of the nose because I don't want to look too highlighted, but I want it to be, you know, just enough, okay? Now I'm gonna set with the Melanie Mills Hollywood. This is the super light, long-lasting setting spray. So shaking it up, it's an aerosol setting spray. Oh, this thing makes the skin look amazing and your makeup lasts like for 5 days if you wanted it to. And it feels very cool on the skin. You almost feel like nothing hit your face because you're just like, did it get on there? Are you sure? But it did, it really did. So for my lips, I'm going in with the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. And this is in the shade Up and Down Tan. And that's what I'll do. This is what I'll use to line my lips. And I'll fill in my lips like toward the center. And then I'm slightly overlining my lips, not by a lot, but just a little. And as a way to check to make sure I'm lining my lips evenly and fully, I'll go like this. And just check to make sure like there's a even amount of lip liner across my lips. So and then for my actual lip color, going in with Citizen Cosmetics, their lip duo. This is in the shade Maldives. These are so cool because they have a lipstick on one end and a lip gloss on the other. For today's look, I'm only going in with the lipstick. It's like a velvet matte lipstick. Very comfortable, very pretty. It's one of their Nudiversal shades. They've got over 20 shades of nude products, nude lip products. So I would check them out because I definitely want more of these. Isn't this color divine? Divine. So I don't feel like going to get it. I had used in the look before, the Maybelline Sky High mascara, but I'm just gonna go in. Let me go in. I'll go in with the Maybelline. This is the Falsies Lash Lift mascara. Any mascara will do because we have one Falsies, so we're not needing a mascara to do a ton of work for us. But I do really enjoy that Sky High mascara. It's definitely the mascara I've been reaching for a while now. Well, I'd say like the past couple of months. I like how thin the wand is, so I can get the lower lash line very well and easily too. I almost forgot to put in a little razzle dazzle in the inner corner of the eye. So I'm mixing those two Color Fix shades again, Iconic and Muse. And we're just gonna add them to the inner portion of the eye right here. And also the lower lash line. Just like so. And guys, that is it. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and this tutorial. Let me know what you guys think of these products. The eye look, the face, I love how like flawless the face looks. I love that it's a soft matte type of look. It's not too harsh. I mean, I'm mattified, but I'm not like flat matte. The eyes are the star of the show, and I really love how this look came together. So let me know your thoughts, and like I said, I'll have all the products linked down below. Let me know also if you like this style of tutorial where I'm actually showing you the products as I use them versus how I normally film it. I usually will have a split screen where I'm talking about the products on one side and then you're watching a demonstration. So let me know which one of those you like best, and let me know if you just like tutorials in general, because if that's what y'all want and that's what y'all like, then I could do more of them. So let me know that all down in the comment section below. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad, because we'd love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.